You're live, Mr. Mayor.
Test. No go on the mics, so make sure we talk loud and enunciate.
The bottom unit's not turned on?
It doesn't work, Gary.
Yeah.
It's we gotta get somebody out to fix it.
I thought you were gonna do that last week.
Still haven't got, the company wasn't able to get out here to do it. We gotta try to find another one.
Hate to ask a stupid question, but can somebody check to make sure it's not unplugged?
Yeah.
We did last.
Oh, yeah.
This one that's online.
Right. Audio still never.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Before Chris sits down, we can all stand up for the pledge. And Karen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Roll call.
Megan Clark. Here. Bob Cook.
Here.
Stephen Kaufman.
Here.
Holly Meredith. Here. Gary Meehan.
Here.
Chris Smithnick. Here.
Okay, before we get going on the agenda, Scott Yamamoto, if I said that correctly? Yep. Okay, is here with the auditor's office and wanted to take a few minutes to speak to us a little bit about the property tax thing that's going on at this point. So, Scott, if you would.
Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. I promise I won't take up too much time. So, you know, there's everybody is concerned about property taxes going away. Obviously, it's something that we're thinking about, right? It's on everybody's mind. So, I just wanted to stop on making the rounds throughout the townships, villages, and cities, and just kind of letting you know that from the Auditors Association standpoint, we really don't have any information about how we're going to replace this. Obviously, there's talk about sales tax and all kinds of things, but I'm just trying to let everybody know, you know, and I put together a handout, which I will give you, you know, if there's a lot of questions, you know, what happens? What is it that's going away? What could happen? What if? There's a lot of what ifs. So the Auditors Association has hired a PR firm to look at this, and the state, actually, the Office of Budget Management has put out a memo of sorts a few weeks ago, and we're kind of going to echo that. But what we're going to do is all 88 county auditors are going to present the same information to everybody. So right now, everybody's like, well, the auditor's obviously not saying anything. We don't have any information to say. So we just met as an Auditors Association with all the school treasurers last week. And we're talking about it with them. What do we do? How do you fund the schools? And we're saying, we don't have any information. So I'm not coming before you to say, well, I have absolutely nothing to give you. So what I did was, a few weeks ago, I gave a presentation to leadership Ashtabula, and they had 4 questions. And those questions were: 1, what is millage? 2, property taxes, where do they go and how are they dispersed? 3, the 20 mil floor, what is it? Because there is a tax credit coming on your second half bill that House Bill 186 puts into place. And that tax credit is a one-time credit for tax years 23 and 24 that you paid in calendar years 24 and 25. And that's for the 20 mil floor of the school. So as values rise, especially in the environment that we're in right now, right, the tax rates have to compress because you're not allowed, the levies can't bring in more or less money than what the voters originally approved. So when that happens in the school portion, the state then adds millage to our tax bills without you voting on it. So that is now capped, and we're going to get a credit on that for the second half bill. It's very confusing. All 88 county auditors are working through it right now. We're going to hopefully be done in a couple of weeks so we can get taxes recalculated and for the second half bill. If somebody paid their full year tax in January, February, they will get a credit on next year's bill. The treasurer's office is not going to issue refunds. Okay, so I'm just stopped to tell you that and see if anybody had any questions real quick. Nothing. Okay, I'm going to pass this out. If you guys have any questions at all, please reach out. I'm real easy to find. just hit my email from the website, or you can call me. This is my direct dial number that's on here. This is a 2-page, 4 questions answered. You could have another one, Chris. Feel free to pass them out, make coupons. You're gonna see me a lot.
And I made copies of
Did you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
You're
Scott.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay. There's no other questions? I'm good. Okay. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
Okay, any additions or corrections to the agenda? All right, review and approve minutes of March 3rd, work session and regular council meeting.
I move that we approve the work session and regular council meeting of March 3rd.
I second it.
Any discussion? Now roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yeah, here.
Stephen Coffin,
Yes.
Holly Meredith. Yes. Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Miznick. Yes.
Visitor comments.
Lori Schulze, 22. I just wanted to remind you guys that the election, as planned, will be held again here in May. I wanted to bring that up now. It's probably Mark that I should really be addressing. I mean, you can't talk to me, but if we could get that in the paper, because the office, remember, the window will be closed. So we want to give people advance notice. If you put that in now, it'll be in April and then May, since the election's on the 5th. So thank you again for letting us do this. In November, we'll be back at the clubhouse. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori.
Yes, we have a meeting. Postponed, right?
Yes.
Till month.
Okay. Administrative reports, mayor's report, I do not have any. I was gonna kind of talk a little bit about the meeting on Friday that we had with Dave Thomas, but Scott kind of gave a brief on that, so. Treasury report?
I sent out on Saturday, January's financial report, and I just, you guys have it at your tables here today. We have the appropriations into the auditor's office. So we have the appropriations in UAN, so everything's looking good for January right now. And then, Kevin, I've still been working with Kevin. The transition's going well. He actually has training tomorrow with UAN for payroll. So payroll will be switching over, so he's not gonna have to worry about the old system when I'm not here. So, that'll be good. I think he has training from like 9 to 3 tomorrow. Everything else seems to be going well. He's well versed in UAN, so there's no issues there. He's been doing, you guys have noticed he's been doing the meetings. I'm just up here tonight for the last one. So, but he's been doing the meetings, so he's been learning the clerk part of it. He's been doing the minutes. So if you have any feedback for him for that, just let him know, and he'll, just because, you know, we have a different process of doing things. So, if anything looks a little different, it's, you know, just that. So just, you know, feel free to reach out to him anytime. Probably easiest to send an email. We're using the same email address. So just send anything to clerk, and Kevin and I will both get it. And I will be with the village until the 31st, so I will still be here. Mhm.
Administrator's report.
Vote on it.
Oh, sorry, got to vote on that.
I move we accept the report.
I second.
All right, roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick. Yes. Gary Mann,
Yes.
Joyce Miznick. Yes.
Okay, administrators report.
Report was in your packet, pending any questions.
I have a question. The camera, you're saying you're getting feedback. What are they saying about the speed camera? What's the feedback that you're getting?
Residents don't like that we have a speed camera on Route 6.
They say specifically why,
They just don't like the thought of it being a money grab, is their usual general consensus.
It's only 2 people registered here.
It's only one concern.
There's only 2 people who ask questions.
How many have we had ping on the camera, chief?
I'm sorry,
How many have we had ping on the camera?
we had over 75. It seems like they're lagging behind a little bit. I think we're working out bugs still in our first 30 days. So there were 75 that I believe Sergeant Beck approved over the last weekend. There's another 65 in the queue that needs approved through the company and then sent up.
And they're still working with the court on procedural, how they get in after, once the Beck or whoever else has approved it and gone to court. And then there's a procedure and system software that myself and the clerk of courts, Mickey Mihalik, have to, it's a software where we have access to see the same thing, because I have, as the prosecutor, I have to have access to say whether I can prove a case or something in addition to what a police officer reviews. So, and then if people challenge it and come to court, and there's all kinds of procedures.
how long do you think that'll take? How long do you think?
I think they're ready to go up by the end of the month, right?
March 27th,
Yeah.
I think, will be our first live day
Okay,
of potentially issuing a citation.
gotcha.
So it's close. It just kind of depends on the judge's scheduling and purview once they start coming in, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the citations can start as early as that, so.
Gotcha.
Will we be getting any information in your report, Ro, about the number of incidences and the average speed?
Absolutely, we can include that. That's something new. It's something new, and we would certainly include that.
I
It
think,
can be by boxes, like 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 100 plus.
and Chief, I think SiteStream would provide that to you without much legwork. But they're under contract to be able to provide us that information that we needed, so.
I've also fielded a handful with our flyer that went out. I did receive a handful of emails, to which I answered and haven't had anything sent back from my answers.
Mark, can you give an update on 14 East?
So we have a lift station 14 East over the weekend. Due to the brownouts with the power outages, we had, I believe it was 4 call outs over the weekend with the team. Both pumps in 14 East have gone down. Unfortunately, they have been sent in for repair, and then we're also looking at getting replacement pumps. Right now, we have not been successful in locating the new pumps on the shelf at any company we're working with. But we have hooked up our Godwin, which is technically our life support generator unit for lift stations, to that pump station. So that is running. Potentially could be 3 to 6 weeks or longer till we have the pumps back in that site.
And Mark, on that same question, is there any idea when we are going to be up and running with a system that will inform the sewer department when a lift station actually is going down?
So currently, we have 11 sites that are monitored by Vector Security. Last year, we went into contract with Security Technologies. We are mounting all the hardware to the stations that don't currently have Vector Security. Once all the hardware is plugged in and Security Tech has everything that's retrofitted for our sites, they'll come in and add the monitoring to the sites that are not currently monitored. because I wanted to make sure that we hit those before the ones that are monitored by Vector. And then hopefully we'll have all 29 lift stations by, I would say, the start of summer, late spring.
Okay, so this will be over basically as far as our inability to get notified by summer.
Yes. Yes, if everything goes through, correct.
Theoretically, yeah. I know,
Yep.
there's always a possibility.
And to go on that, we'll get it set up so that we have the same type of monitoring at the stations that we currently do for the ones that don't have any. The nice thing about the security technology software and equipment is that we'll have the ability to get a little bit more information. If we have a trouble spot, we can make add equipment to get better notification. So if we want to see if there's a pump that's running on high amp, that way the guys will know that, okay, they can show up to the site with exactly what they need to do. So right now, the focus is to get everything in and communicating to us in the long run. So,
Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Mark, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Solicitor's report,
Nothing's right.
police chief's report.
Was submitted with your back.
Committee commission reports, finance committee,
We'll meet next week or next month.
next month. Okay. Public works committee,
Public Works had a meeting the first Friday of this month. Unfortunately, we did not have a quorum. There was just discussion between the ones that did show up. And I sent the information out to try to get a Teams call put together for the next couple weeks to try to find out when we can all meet in the near future.
so to go back to what council asked to be sent to the public works committee about roads. Currently, what we're looking at doing is doing just the maintenance. So crack sealing and repairing the potholes that are there. And then we'll look at a future project for what we feel would be the next step.
Do we have any action that we need to take to pull that out of the agenda at this point, since we sent it to the committee? Do we have to do anything? We don't, okay.
All right. Planning commission,
Planning is meeting on the fourth Thursday of this month at 7 p.m.
Wednesday. Thursday?
I'm sorry, Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you.
Wednesday, you said?
Correct.
25th, you said?
Yeah.
25th, yeah.
Thank you, Joyce.
I was
and
gonna say, I think I'm supposed to be there.
records commission,
Have not met for 26.
special committee liaison, RRA,
No report.
SCAD, no report. And legislation. Ordinance 2026-03-06, an ordinance amending codified ordinance 111.01 governing rules of council and council meeting, not declaring an emergency. It's in its first reading.
Can I ask a question? Can we get, I don't know if it needs to be a rule of the council or what, but I'm just throwing this up because we're at that point. Years ago, we used to have an ongoing data that we would get at council of our outstanding debts, like the building, the roads and stuff like. Can we now get that? I don't care whether it comes on the financial report or whether we get it. It used to come from the administrator, where, like, for example, we have so much left on the building you pay off, and it'll be paid off in June of next year.
Is that a report that we can do on UAM?
I don't care where it comes from. I don't care where you put it, but I think it's pertinent to council to know what is out there and what is firm debt that we have to pay, we're obligated for each year.
So we move this to new business and it doesn't fit with this.
It won't go under council rules.
Right.
Okay, then bring it up under new business. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to put it in there, that's all.
All right, ordinance, 2026-03-07, an ordinance approving the police department salary scale for fiscal years 2026 through 2030, attached hereto and incorporated herein to clarify language associated with longevity pay of employees and declaring an emergency. First reading.
It's declared an emergency so that as soon as we pass it, it is in effect, or is there a retro date, or what are we doing?
I don't think it said anything about a retro date, did it?
Do we not vote on the first one?
Since first reading.
It doesn't, that's why I'm.
Who would,
No.
When's the first one that, it's Clay, or is it yourself, chief?
I believed in the initial thing that I sent to you, it said, just to make it retroactive to the date that it was passed in October.
I don't think.
I'm not sure why it was an emergency. If that's the solution.
This is the way they put it in the book.
We need to change it to make it retroactive. This
That's
ordinance
why we-
doesn't say this. Remember if it was in there.
Well, it does say commencing fiscal year 2026. So is that sufficient to get us covered in those early months of the year?
I believe it would.
In section 1.
I don't think you need a retroactive effective date on it because it's just clarified language of the prior attachment. So it should take effect immediately. You would have to declare an emergency though to do that.
So did we pay out for anybody yet this year? Is anybody due right now?
I am as of January 20th. Sergeant Beck will be in a couple weeks.
So should we just try to get this through tonight, or do we all want to sleep on it?
What would change? What would
Nothing
change?
would change, it would just be emergency bill.
It's just
That's
taken
the-
care of.
The verbiage as far as when it was being paid, at the completion of the year versus at the beginning. Just clarifying that, that's all it was.
So we should just pass it now, right?
I-
Yes,
I would say.
I would say let's just,
So Mayor, I move that we
Waive the
waive
period.
the three reading rule.
Second.
You can second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Megan Clark,
yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes,
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Miznick,
Yes.
I move we declare it an emergency.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yeah.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes,
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Miznick,
Yes.
I move to take action.
Move down. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes,
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Miznick,
Yes.
I gotta read that resolution. I gotta find it. You want mine?
All right. Resolution number 2026-03-08R, a resolution honoring and Carrie Phillips for her dedicated service as clerk treasurer and for her leadership during the transition to new municipal billing and accounting software. All right. Whereas Carrie Phillips has faithfully served the village of Roaming Shores as clerk treasurer, carrying out the statutory responsibilities of the office with professionalism, diligence, and integrity. And whereas throughout her tenure, Carrie Phillips has provided exemplary oversight of the municipality's financial operations, public records, and administrative processes, ensuring accuracy, transparency, and accountability in the management of public funds. And whereas the responsibilities of clerk treasurer require a high level of knowledge, attention to detail, and dedication to the residents and elected officials of the village of Roaming Shores. And whereas Carrie Phillips has demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment while guiding the municipality through the implementation and transition to a new municipal billing and accounting software system, an undertaking requiring significant coordination, training, data management, and adaptation to new processes. And whereas her diligence and perseverance during this transition have helped ensure continuity of services, improved operational efficiency, and a successful modernization of the municipality financial and utility billing systems. And whereas the Village Council desires to formally recognize and express its sincere appreciation for the dedication, professionalism, and years of service provided by Carrie Phillips. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Roaming Shores, State of Ohio, at Section 1, the council hereby extends its sincere gratitude and appreciation to Carrie Phillips for her dedicated and faithful service as clerk treasurer. Section 2, the council further commends her for her leadership, professionalism, and commitment to excellence, particularly in overseeing and assisting with the transition to the municipality's new billing and accounting software system. Section 3, the council recognizes that her efforts have contributed significantly to the continued stability, efficiency, and modernization of the administration and financial operations of the village. Section 4, council hereby expresses its best wishes to Carrie Phillips for continued success and fulfillment in all future endeavors. Okay.
You have to move to act on it?
Yep.
Oh,
I move we,
I mean, maybe, if you want to.
I move that we accept and act on the resolution.
I second.
roll call.
Megan Clark?
Yes.
Bob Cook?
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman?
Yes.
Holly Meredith?
Yes.
Carrie Meehan?
Yes.
Joyce Miznick?
Yes.
Mark, we can codify that and keep it in the books forever if we want council to vote on that too.
All right. Old business?
You want that? Okay.
That'll be like $1,000 and we have to pay them for it.
That's probably true, yeah. Cost of living is still funny, yeah. That's a good fiscal
I know.
officer.
I'll take that $1,000
Same play.
Old business? New business. Bob?
Yeah, I'm proposing that we go forward with notification of all liens and payoff dates, the amounts, and so that basically council has an idea what's outstanding and when it's coming due, so we don't.
Yeah, so I sent out, this was a while ago, but it was the spreadsheet that had all of our village loans on it. And it had all the amortization tables included in there. We have since added a loan, but we're not paying on it yet, so we don't have all the information, but I'll show Kevin where it is. I just updated it, so that it was new for the appropriations and everything, so I will send out a new one, that has
Can
all.
we have it each month is what I want.
We don't need it every month. It's gonna be the same all year long because the amortization tables that we have, we only make payments twice a year, once in January and once in July. So we have all the information. I mean, we can go out to the end of the loans and we will know exactly.
I'm no care.
how
I'm
much
not worried about
everything
history. I
is.
want to make sure that we don't get ourselves in debt. That's what.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all in that spreadsheet. I'll send it out again so that you guys have it, fresh, because I think I just sent it to Joyce and Megan after we had our finance meeting, but it's the same spreadsheet that I sent to all of council either last year or the year before, but
One other question.
Yes.
I'm concerned about them being bonds versus straight out loans. Bonds, you weren't allowed to pay off.
I think the only one is Village Hall.
Okay.
Everything else is OPWC loans.
Okay, that's what, I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure they would define which they were.
Yeah.
Because if we have a windfall, we could pay some of those off, but
Yeah.
the bonds you can't.
Yeah, everything that we have for all the lift stations, roads, water, that's all OPWC. And those ones are all the zero interest. The only one that we have that is the bond is Village Hall. And I think that one we just looked, and I want to say we had like maybe 6 more years on that one, if that. Yeah, I want to say it was, I think it was
That's
2030.
probably
Because we
that's the next
refinanced
one's
it
gonna get
before I
paid off.
came
is
in.
Village Hall. Or is there another WP that
I
might-
think there's an OPWC. And I know OWDA is done. That one was paid off 2 years ago. And Bercadia, last year was our last Bercadia one. That was the sewer plant. That was the big one at the beginning of the year. So that one's done. So all we have is OPWC and Village Hall.
Maybe we can include that in our annual budget process. So that
That would work.
comes out once a year to us during that
I'm
process.
sure Kevin can come up with the, whether Terry gives them all that information, usually there's a debt service schedule that gets
Yeah.
implemented. at the
Typically-
Terry's side.
What I do for my other municipality typically is I have in the budget the exact amount appropriated for each individual loan, so that in the budget, you see exactly which one's which, and then from there, you can just get the number for what we're paying in interest and.
Yeah, it's in our appropriations.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the appropriations.
Yeah,
Where it has what's going into debt services. So everything is listed in there, and we just do the monthly payments you'll see in the finance reports. Every month, we do a transfer into the debt service fund, because that's where the money has to come from for those payments. So, but it is in the appropriate.
Thank you, Mark.
Anything else to business?
Can I say one thing? Okay. I grew up here on Rockaway Drive with a group of friends that I will cherish for the rest of my life. I can only pray that my girls develop those friendships through this community. Every year, a lot of us contribute our time towards the Jason Scribbins Memorial Volleyball Tournament. I am sad to announce the tragic passing of Jason's younger brother, Josh Scribbins. I wanted to take the time out to send my condolences to the Scribbins family during this difficult time. I'm truly sorry for your loss, and your family is in my thoughts and prayers. Those that are wondering, the funeral arrangements are this Saturday at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Orwell at 1:30, followed by a celebration of life at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I have one thing I'd like to just announce for the new business. I'd like to thank Morgan Township and also Rock Creek Village. We submitted for the Dave Joyce appropriations this year for the water tower funding. Those two communities did sign letters of support for our village so that we can move forward with that program. So I just wanted to thank them publicly.
All right. One thing that I want to kind of talk about a little bit tonight regarding an ordinance that was passed back in 2018 that allowed secondary structures to be built to 1,200 square foot with a peak up to 25 feet. That currently we've been having the residents go to a BZA hearing, and being that it is in the ordinance that it shall be permitted for the building, that going forward, we won't be doing that as far as sending them to the BZA meeting.
Does it formally ask for the B, or instruct for the BZA? Or has that just been a practice,
I think it's just been a practice.
which is silly?
It's an ordinance that if anything over 900 square foot must go to the BZA.
So what you're saying is we have two ordinances, one that says anything over 900 must go to BZA, and then we passed another ordinance, our prior council, saying that you can build up to 1,200. So that 9 to 1,200 is, you can do it, but you have to go to the BZA.
Correct.
So the new one we passed, Mark, it went to 900.
No, that's the old.
So the new ordinance stated that you can go to 1,200, but you have to have a BZA hearing to do it. It's permissible with the BZA hearing.
So why did that happen? What's really going on here? Because it's very confusing to the builders and the homeowners, and it keeps coming up.
It says, except as otherwise provided by village zoning code, and accessory use structure shall be permitted in association with principal use or structure provided that. And the first one, it shall be no greater than 1,200 square feet. So I don't see where it says it has to go to BZA.
There were 3 documents that I gave the mayor in regards to this. I know he gave, I believe, 1. So I think there's more homework that needs to be done with this before any decision's made. I think the mayor's just trying to get everybody aware that there's a conflict in the ordinances.
Well, I think we've got a couple of homeowners that are dying to get moving on their buildings.
I think it's an administrative issue, not a government.
Right, why
It
is
shouldn't
there
even be here.
confusion that the ordinance that we have in front of us, which is 704-07-18, does not instruct to go to the BZA? I mean, I can't find it here. Am I missing something?
No.
So then I don't understand why anybody's getting in its way. You said there's other documents. What do the other documents say?
That you, to be approved for that square footage, you have to get a BZA hearing.
Is that in an ordinance?
Correct.
That's
Was
in
it
the original
before or
building
after?
Was it before or after that one?
Right, is it before or after?
before it was original.
So it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter, right? Because this overrules it.
I'm not prepared for this conversation in the meeting, so I can't give you accurate information.
The ordinance that we have in front of us specifically says, except as otherwise provided, accessory structure use or structure will be permitted. And the first one is 1,200 square feet and goes through all the changes.
I agree with Stephen. It feels like it's administrative and they need to clean up their act.
And if it wants to come back to us for a decision, a governing, a ordinance revision, I'm happy to entertain it and modify it so the language is correct. And Mr. Mayor, I know you gave us this, but I'm questioning why we don't have a signed copy of this so we can verify this is the last one. I don't even know that this is this last ordinance.
Well, and then
This-
the other question
the old
would be,
one's
did it
building
made into
code.
the codified?
The old one's building code. This ordinance in front of us here amended the zoning code. So it's
Two different
two
codes.
different codes that, because you guys have two separate codes.
So the building code is 900, which is why they have to go to the BZA.
BZA only looks at the zoning code.
But we're tearing that apart.
BZA can't really look at your building code. That's not their purview. They're not statutorily mandated to look at a variance on a building code, so. That's interesting.
So help me understand.
So they're only seeing the 900 one, or 9, or whatever, the 9 one. Is that what you're saying? They're not seeing the 1,200 one?
No, they're seeing two different codes, so they're seeing, so they don't know what to do.
So let's help them because it's not helping the homeowner, it's not helping the contractor. Then it's really not helping our staff.
BZA can only enforce what's under your zoning code. So they can't enforce what's under the building code.
So therefore, no BZA hearing.
Right, because 1,200, now if it's
But
1,300
then,
square feet,
but we have a building code.
So you have a building code that says otherwise that has something to go to BZA that needs to be cleaned up. Because I'll have to research whether I can have the building code. Because Mark, we were fixing up the building code anyway, right?
Correct. The whole zoning and building code is all being worked on.
Because we only got through property and maintenance, right?
We did finish the building code. We are on the zoning text,
Building code.
but nothing has been approved to move forward with yet. So we're still in the 2022 zoning.
So I know that there has been, since this gone into effect,
Mark, has anybody been denied when it goes to BZA?
For that statute, no. This is the first one that it addresses.
it's the first one that's actually gone to BZA.
You can recommend that it goes to BZA, Mark, and then Dave can make a recommendation to waive the fee for going to BZA too, because of the conflict of laws.
well, we need to help them understand that.
Holly, I can't help them understand it because there's two separate codes to look at. And I have one code that says it goes to BZA whether it's proper or not. You have home rule power, so your home rule power says you want the BZA to address the 900, not just the 1200. That's the problem. So I can't help them because right now it's
But if
900.
the staff is able to waive, they need reminded that that is really what I'm saying.
That's fine. If council wants to give Mark the directive to do that and waive, that's fine. But then you're also, but Stephen's point is that you're also legislating without passing something new, so.
In 2 weeks, we can have a new ordinance in front of us if we so decide that would address this issue.
That's probably that's the best route to go right now, right?
I don't recommend it.
You don't, what would you think?
Your spot, because you're already going through a review of the three, and so then I'm kind of feeling spot
You're
zoning.
right. I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm thinking about it.
What do you think we should do then, Chris?
I think he said he should just recommend that they go to the BZA and they recommend they waive the BZA fees.
Yeah, waive the BZA fees and suggest BZA approve on the recommendation of the administrator and zoning inspector. As long as
Do
they're
we
within,
need
as
any
long as
kind of
they're,
a motion to help them with that?
that's just kind of council having the discussion that it should be.
Because I know of a couple that are brewing, and I have a feeling that we've sent some other people in the past to this goose chase, and I'm not even sure how. it's
I
going.
just think there's a good appeal issue if the BZA were to deny anything under 1,200. But I get why it's been going to BZA because that's what Mark has in language.
And since 2018, it has not until recent. So that's the other issue.
But I mean, I can't help past practices though either. So, I mean,
Right.
Mark's only stuck with what's in front of him. Okay.
So do we have a clear directive here from Mark?
I think it's Mark's decision and the zoning decision. I don't think it's ours. My directive would be that I don't have a directive for administration. It's not my responsibility.
My only thought to it, if you're asking, is if you want me to allow up to 1,200, like you're mentioning, and to waive the BZA fee, I'm only permitted to waive up to $100 currently in my role. I would just make that part of your discussion now to let me waive up to $250 for a BZA hearing, if that's what you
We
choose.
did change that. Right.
Correct.
So many contradictions.
I'm having a hard time understanding it. It's an ordinance. Now, this isn't signed, but I know it was passed and signed on council. That I don't see where it should be an issue at all.
Because you only have one of them, Gary.
Well,
Two of them.
It's the other one that's missing in action. The one about 900.
I understand the 900, believe me, I went through this when I built my garage. And I had to go to the BZA and they did approve a 1,200 square foot, and this was before this ordinance took effect.
So you had to pay BZA.
Yeah, but it wasn't $250 back then, it was only $50. But that's immaterial at this point, is that the village passed an ordinance to allow the build bigger garage, provided it meets the other specifications. Then I don't see why it should have to go to the BZA at all.
All right,
How do we take care of the $250?
Mr. Mayor, I have one question. How come only 3 or 4 people?
it was in your box, Bob. It was after the fact, so, yeah, that's on me.
Mark, this is nothing against your ability to waive or not waive, but I'm not in favor of extending waive on BZA because it then opens up the door, in my opinion, for waiving, and it puts you in a position to have to make that decision, and I'd prefer you not to be in that position.
And I agree. We have newer BZA members, and it puts them in a position that they're not going to be sure what to do. And I think us cleaning it up and having a recommendation to you to modify under all of those is the better route to go. So Mark isn't put in that position either.
So what do the pending property owners do?
They will apply to the BZA, pay the BZA fee. If there's sufficient evidence presented that the BZA will waive their fee and that gets refunded, they can do that by legislative decision. They are a separate entity of this board, so instead of Mark waiving it, they can hear argument as to why it should be waived. If Mark and Dave want to attend a meeting to give that recommendation to do so, that they know council's wishes based on tonight's meeting that they want to see that, but until that's done, because the alternative is we do something wrong, the homeowner then does or doesn't get what they want and sues us in common pleas court, we're subject to attorney's fees. So as long as we're following our processes democratically by having the hearing, they can waive as the BZA just as much, but it doesn't put your administrative staff in the position that they automatically have to do it, is my point.
But then if you're waiving the BZA fees, for one, you're opening the door for the next guy that comes through for some other variance that he wants. Well, you let him do it, so why can't I?
That's not how it works here. That's not because the BZA is a separate entity that you appoint to make a separate decision without you. It doesn't go to you. Once BZA makes a decision, you don't get to hear it.
I get that, I understand that, but if we're suggesting that the BZA can just waive the fee arbitrarily at their own discretion, you're putting them in a position of, well, you waived it for that guy, why won't you waive it for me?
That's the one they have to, that's how the process works.
It's not that we are involved. They've always had this power. They can do it on anything they want.
I get that.
It's no, but to be fair, it's no different than when I first started, you guys waiving water fees and rates for people. We had that same discussion then, so you open the Pandora's box, that's one thing, that's where it comes in. Administrative staff can make a recommendation to that board. If that board makes a separate decision, they have to live with it and live with the consequence if a homeowner or constituent sues the village in common pleas court for a decision. Now, if we followed our processes appropriately, I'm confident that that lawsuit doesn't do anything to us because we followed our home rule power within our own guidelines. That's instead of legislating it and micromanaging the appointed board.
This is why we pay Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bills for review.
Just with you.
Okay. Executive session. Anything? All right. Adjournment?
Second.
There's cake and dessert and food, please, before you leave.
Grab something.
Take it with you. No.
Wait, this is my last roll call.
Roll call.
Get my last one in. Megan Clark.
Yes.
Bob Cook. Bob Cook.
Bob Cook.
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman.
Carrie, I don't want to stand with you. I gotta say no.
Any other options? All right, Stephen's a no. Holly Meredith.
That's right.
Gary Meehan.
Yes.
Joyce Mysek. Yes. Thank you.
He said that.